The film kicks off with an intense car chase, where police officers are in hot pursuit of a truck. Despite the authorities ordering them to pull over, the suspects refuse, forcing the police to open fire. Even under heavy gunfire, the truck continues speeding away with the police close behind. In a desperate move, the criminals toss a washing machine at the chasing police cars, seriously injuring Detective Cortez. The other officers are forced to halt the chase and quickly call for emergency medical help. Meanwhile, Detective Patrick Walker is out shopping for Christmas presents for his 6-year-old daughter. During this, he sees a news report announcing that the investigation into politician Lawrence Beaumont has been dismissed. Walker calls his estranged wife to let her know about the gifts, but she rejects them, saying she doesn't want money earned through corruption. He insists he only wants to speak to their daughter but is distracted by a commotion coming from his partner's location. He reminds her that they are homicide detectives and should only be dealing with murder cases, suggesting she call it in instead. Meanwhile, the thieves head to their planned meeting spot to sell the stolen cocaine. Charlie and Mia go inside to negotiate the deal with the Chinese group, while their 2 accomplices stay outside to keep watch. As Charlie and Mia conduct the transaction, the lookouts spot a vehicle pulling up nearby. Men wearing hockey masks confront Shui Fang's uncle, Qing, and tell him to leave, which he does without argument. Inside, Mia receives a warning call from her friends outside, urging her to escape immediately. Moments later, the masked men open fire. Walker and his partner, Ellie, receive a code purple on their radio and rush to the crime scene. Upon arrival, Walker surveys the massacre and imagines how the deadly shootout unfolded. His thoughts are interrupted when a fellow officer approaches, offering condolences about Cortez. Walker is stunned, realizing for the first time that Cortez had been rushed into surgery without his knowledge. Ellie approaches with the surveillance footage of the suspects, and Walker tells her he doesn't recognize them. He points out that although the suspects are carrying pistols, the kind of devastation at the scene could only have been caused by assault rifles. They also mention that they believe the doorman managed to escape, prompting Walker to instruct them to contact every ICU in the area, looking for an Asian male likely riddled with gunshot wounds. He tells them to keep him updated once they find anything, as he has something else he needs to handle. Walker then heads to Lawrence Beaumont's residence. Beaumont expresses his gratitude to Walker for getting the charges against him dropped. However, Walker drops a bombshell, revealing that Beaumont's own son, Charlie, was involved in the recent crime scene. Beaumont pleads with Walker to handle the situation discreetly, but Walker refuses, saying he wants no further ties between them. Beaumont reminds Walker that he knows about his past crimes. Reluctantly, Walker agrees to help, under the condition that this will be the last time they ever deal with each other. Meanwhile, Shui Fang's mother meets with her brother, Qing, to demand an explanation about the events that led to her son's death. She pulls a gun from his side and shoots the 2 bodyguards standing next to him before turning the weapon on Qing, demanding to know who was responsible for her son's death. Qing claims that the killer is the son of Beaumont, a powerful figure, meaning it won't be easy to track him down. Meanwhile, Walker manages to find the doorman hiding at a doctor's office and forces information out of him, using the doctor to translate. The doorman reveals that all he knows is that the killers wore hockey masks and looked like demons. Walker scolds the doctor, saying he should have contacted him the moment the doorman arrived, since that's what he's being paid to do. Realizing the doorman cannot be allowed to discover he's a snitch, the doctor kills him. Later, Walker visits Cortez at the hospital and runs into 3 of his former narcotics colleagues. They inform him that Charlie has been identified as the main suspect both in the murder and the stolen truck case. This puts Walker in a tough position, since he had promised Beaumont he would bring Charlie in. Walker excuses himself and heads to Cortez's hospital room. There, he meets Cortez's wife, Angie, who tells him that while Cortez was unconscious, he mumbled about him and their former colleagues being in serious trouble. Walker reassures her that it doesn't concern Cortez personally. As he leaves, Walker reflects on the memory Cortez was referring to, a job where he, Cortez, Vincent, Jay, and Hayes had broken in somewhere and unexpectedly encountered someone. Walker had attacked the man but wanted to get him medical help when he realized he was actually an undercover cop. Vincent, unwilling to risk exposure, executed the man to tie up loose ends. Meanwhile, Mia is working with her uncle, Raoul, to get fake passports for herself and Charlie. Raul advises her that it would be safer to leave without Charlie, pointing out that Charlie's wealthy father could protect him, but Mia refuses. Raul tells her he'll call once the passports are ready. Walker returns to the precinct to check in with Ellie and learns about Clarice Fong, Shui Fong's mother, and her involvement. Walker gets called into the captain's office, where he's informed that he's been removed from the case for lying about not recognizing Charlie in the surveillance footage. Afterwards, Walker approaches Ellie and asks if she knows anything about Mia. After hesitating, she admits that Mia works at her uncle Raoul's scrapyard. Meanwhile, a group of mercenaries on motorcycles ambush Beaumont while he's stuck in traffic, slaughtering his security team. They hand him a phone, and Clarice speaks on the line, warning him that she's coming after his son Charlie for killing her child. They then abduct Beaumont. Walker heads to Raoul's scrapyard, where Raoul scrambles to hide the fake passport he created for Mia, but Walker catches him before he can. Walker warns Raoul that Mia won't survive if he doesn't cooperate. He grabs Raoul's phone and sends Mia a text with a location where he wants her to meet, then quickly leaves before the other officers arrive, since he's officially off the case. Elsewhere, Clarice and Ching discuss the events leading to Shui's death when one of Charlie's friends arrives, insisting he had nothing to do with what happened. They force him to his knees and aim a gun at him, but he pleads for his life, promising he can lead them to Mia's location. Believing him, they let him go. Meanwhile, Mia receives the text and heads to the meeting spot, expecting to find her uncle. Walker also enters the club, searching for her. When he finally spots Mia, he shows her the fake passport, but she tries to escape. Walker catches her and demands to know where Charlie is. Moments later, Vince, Jake, and Hayes arrive at the club, and Mia instantly recognizes one of them as one of the masked men who killed Shui. Walker remarks that he didn't know Jake played hockey. Vince and the others claim they need to take Mia into custody, saying she's a suspect, but Walker refuses to hand her over. At the same time, Triad members enter the club also looking for Mia. Walker notices and prepares to open fire, but Hayes stops him. Vince approaches to calm things down, but the Triad members attack him, sparking a massive brawl. Taking advantage of the chaos, Mia bolts, but a few Triad members chase after her. Determined to protect her, Walker follows and engages the gangsters in a fight. Several Triad members appear in front of Mia, and Walker rushes in to defend her. Mia also holds her own, fighting off the attackers coming her way. During the chaos, Jake tries to grab Mia, but she manages to fight him off. Someone shoves Mia to the ground, and just as one of the Triad members is about to kill her, a gunshot rings out, saving her. At that moment, Charlie and Raoul arrive, and Walker opens fire on Vince, Jake, and Hayes to give Mia cover as she tries to escape up a ladder. Walker tells Charlie that his father sent him and even points his gun at Mia to force Charlie to listen. Together, they move toward the exit, shooting at anyone trying to block their path. Charlie gets hit, and Walker quickly pulls him to safety. Meanwhile, Vince, Jake, and Hayes attempt to flee, but Hayes is caught and killed during the escape. As they try to get away, police officers arrive and order everyone to drop their weapons. Walker identifies himself as an officer, but the cops don't listen. Suddenly, gunmen with assault rifles open fire, killing the police officers. Walker grabs Charlie and drags him back into the club to avoid the gunfire. Raoul gets shot and, in a final act of sacrifice, shoves Mia back inside the club, locks the door behind her, and faces the attackers alone. Charlie grabs Mia, and together with Walker, they find a way out of the building. They pile into Walker's car and speed off, even as bullets fly after them. Soon, the police swarm the scene. Jake flashes his badge to avoid suspicion, and they realize they've lost Hayes during the chaos. Meanwhile, Walker drives the group to a safer location. While on the road, he calls Ellie, revealing that Vince, Jake, and Hayes have been part of the drug conspiracy from the very beginning. He also pleads with her to check on Cortez, fearing that he could be targeted as a loose end. At the same time, Ching arrives at the hospital, planning to kill Cortez. When Ellie reaches the hospital, she reviews security footage and notices Ching carrying a weapon. She alerts hospital security, but Ching moves fast, killing the guards and then murdering Cortez. He also shoots and kills Angie, Cortez's wife. Ellie chases him down, manages to capture him, and secures him in handcuffs before hauling him into her car and driving away. Walker reaches his secluded safe house and immediately begins treating Charlie's gunshot wound. He then tries calling Beaumont, but it's actually Clarice who answers the phone and puts the call on speaker. Unaware that it isn't Beaumont, Walker mentions that Charlie is with him and that he has already sent the location. When he gets no reply, a sense of dread hits him as he realizes something is wrong. Meanwhile, Ellie goes to Walker's home to find out where he might be, since she's been unable to reach him. Walker's wife informs her about the existence of a safe house. Clarice and Beaumont, under duress, head to the address Walker had unknowingly given away. Back on her side, Ellie forces Ching to arrange a meeting with Vince and Jake. When they arrive at the meeting spot, Ellie pulls a shotgun on them and orders them to drop their weapons. Meanwhile, at the safe house, Walker senses that trouble is imminent and prepares for an attack. Charlie and Mia tell Walker they plan to leave and refuse to return to Beaumont. Before Walker can respond or convince them otherwise, gunfire erupts, forcing them to retreat into the house for cover. Walker hands a gun to Charlie and Mia, and together they fire at anyone who gets close to the house. They attempt to escape through the back, but find more armed men waiting there. Walker eventually runs out of bullets and switches to using knives to continue fighting. Although they put up a strong resistance, they were badly outnumbered, leading to Charlie and Mia getting captured. Meanwhile, Walker ends up in a brutal fight against one of the Triad's elite enforcers, who easily overpowers him. She beats him down, and part of the roof collapses onto him. As she moves the debris to finish him off, Walker manages to grab a spear gun and shoots her, killing her instantly. When he looks outside, he sees Charlie and Mia forced to kneel at gunpoint before he loses consciousness. Shortly after, Beaumont arrives with Clarice. Beaumont tells Charlie to trust him to handle the situation. Clarice hands Beaumont a gun, demanding that since Charlie took away the person she loved most, he should now do the same by killing Mia. Beaumont clearly doesn't want to go through with it, but with guns pointed at him, he's left with no choice but to follow their orders. Just as Beaumont is about to pull the trigger, Charlie throws himself in front of Mia, telling his father that if he wants to kill her, he'll have to go through him first. At that moment, Ellie arrives on the scene with Ching, Vince, and Jake at gunpoint. Speaking in Cantonese, she reveals that Charlie wasn't the one who killed Shui. It was Ching who had been lying to everyone. During the commotion, Jake takes advantage of a distraction, lunges at Ellie, and knocks her to the ground. He grabs a pistol and points it at Charlie and Mia, but Beaumont jumps in the way and takes the bullet meant for them. Meanwhile, Walker manages to crawl out from cover, grabs a gun, and opens fire on Vince, though Vince manages to dodge the shots. Vince also evades Ellie's blast from a shotgun. He overpowers a guard, steals his weapon, and fires back, killing him. In the chaos, Clarice's bodyguards are gunned down. A stray gun falls near Ching, and he uses it to shoot Clarice, killing her. Ching then picks up a bag of cocaine and a gun and tries to fire at Vince, but Vince turns quickly and shoots Ching dead.
Charlie and Mia say a final goodbye to Beaumont as he is dying.
Meanwhile, Vince grabs the bag of cocaine and tries to escape, but Walker chases after him. As Ellie struggles with Jake, Charlie sneaks up behind him and empties his magazine into Jake, killing him. Meanwhile, Vince attempts to escape by boarding a train, but Walker fires at it, causing Vince to fall. Vince tries to blackmail Walker by threatening to expose their past crimes, but Walker calmly reminds him that he's now the only person alive who knows the full story. Realizing he's a loose end, Vince pulls his gun and fires at Walker, but Walker reacts first, shooting Vince dead. Charlie and Mia get into a vehicle and flee, knowing they could still be targeted. Walker, ready to face the consequences, tells Ellie that she's a good cop. As she's about to arrest him, she offers to help deliver his Christmas present to his daughter, but Walker refuses, saying he doesn't want to spoil her Christmas with his mistakes.